Many have wondered if the details described in the Book of Abraham have support from ancient sources. Over the years, new archaeological and textual evidences have come to light that demonstrate the authenticity of the Book of Abraham as an ancient text.
There are numerous ancient documents that have come to light since the time of Joseph Smith, which substantiate and verify a lot of the information that we find in the Book of Abraham that is not found in the Bible.
The text is a more difficult target for the critics because there's some very interesting evidences that support the text. What could Joseph Smith have known about? What couldn't he have known about? There were writings floating around in the country that talked a little bit about Abraham or talked about some of the things that we find in the Book of Abraham, but what is the likelihood that Joseph Smith could have known these and collected all the right pieces from libraries or archaic sources?
So generally, in the way the text is phrased, it has an ancient ring to it, and this is a comment, from a non-LDS Egyptologist. The English text of the Book of Abraham, which is written in a kind of a faux King James Jacobean language, which is common with Joseph Smith's scriptural productions. But if you took it out of that kind of language and you put it in normal, modern Egyptological type of vocabulary, that it would read very much, like an ancient document.
The similarities among all these early Jewish Christian texts and the Book of Abraham, one of the questions that often arises is, did Joseph Smith have access to these texts, some apocryphal texts or pseudepigrapha texts, some others? Where then does Joseph Smith have access to all of these that even a learned scholar such as this critic didn't even have access to all of these texts?
Where a lot of parallels exist with the ancient world and with Abraham tales and traditions specifically. And so for me, the English text provides a wealth of parallels and evidence for the Book of Abraham.
And just, again, it's another, story of Abraham that we don't get in Genesis. And so it raises the question of where do these traditions come from? How do they suddenly appear, especially in multiple texts from, similar time period?